Welcome to our podcast, Living by the Mantras, common sense wisdom for an extraordinary life. And we're so glad that you joined us today. We're so glad that everyone is here. You're here for the mantra number 7, I can't yet. And this particular episode is strategies to overcome obstacles. So if you're just joining us, just in brief, this is based on my book, Living by the Mantras, Common Sense Wisdom for an Extraordinary Life. I'm Colleen Souza, your host, and this is
Brian Souza, and it's great to be here.
My fabulous co-host and partner of almost 40 years now. Yeah. We've been around each other just a little while.
Couple decades.
Couple of those. But we've been talking about mantras from my book, and the mantras are just words, phrases, quotes, sayings that help us remember core common values. And this one is overcoming obstacles. That's what this mantra is all about. Never allowed our kids, I was a teacher for 20 years, my students, and in our business to say we can't unless we added the word yet to it, because obstacles are going to come our way. That's part of the human condition. We're always going to run into them.
They're like speed bumps.
How do we overcome them? And so today we're going to go through 5 really basic strategies that often help us. We have experienced that they've helped us overcome obstacles. Because one of the obstacles can be big things, they can be small things, but simple or complex, to break down those barriers, we have to be big thinkers, okay? We have to have big dreams, we have to have big ideas and big imaginations. Those are the things that push us forward. But children, when they're young, you know, a kid, you ask a kid and they can do just anything, you know? And even into their teenage years and young adulthood, they're unstoppable. Nothing can touch them. But the older we grow in life and the more wisdom and more life we live, sometimes we tend to constrain our thinking. We're no longer those big, crazy thinkers because life has taught us that, well, maybe we can't. And so that's why we need these strategies. There's a statement in the picture on the wall behind me, and it says, create things you wish existed. That's big thinking. Not what we can't do, not what doesn't exist out there, but what we can do. So that's what we're going to do today. And we are going to start with number 1. Number 1 is stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Now I'm going to start with a personal story. I'm going to be way open and honest.
Okay.
And this guy can confirm these things. I started this book, Living by the Mantras. I started writing it, and I wanted so badly to do so many different things with it. And I've written the book. Got the book out there. I've got this podcast going.
You did.
But I would love to teach some coursework with it. But I manage to often come up with lots of excuses about why I can't dig in and get things done. Now, granted, in our life right now, there's a lot going on. We're selling our home. We're going to move out of the state we've always lived in. We have a lot of transition happening in that regard. And that's not small stuff. But that doesn't mean that every hour of my day is so busy that I can't sit down and brainstorm, work a little, be motivated. But I come up with loads of excuses to not get done what I really, really want to get done. And I hold as obstacles the busyness of my life. And you know what? It's not working. So how can we step up and get things done?
Well, the first thing you need to do is realize that the obstacle is simply a speed bump. You will get through it. You will get past it. And at the end of the day, that big thinking that you mentioned is so important. If you really want to get educated and get a master's degree in big thinking, look at a 3-year-old, because they're going to have possibilities thinking about everything that they can get done and do, and you know they have no limitations. But to answer your question, how do we stop making excuses? The key is to take ownership of whatever that situation is.
Very true.
And by taking ownership, you're saying that I can make a change. I can make this happen. And that eliminates the excuse of I can't make it happen. Because if you take ownership, you're now saying there is a possibility that you're going to get over that speed bump onto the next one.
Well, and I'm going to throw in there that that's a bit of personal responsibility, which is extraordinarily countercultural.
Yeah.
Okay. And there is a whole mantra on taking responsibility and being personally responsible. But the bottom line is, Brian's right, because far too often we want to come up with all the reasons, and the reasons are not ours. They're that we're affected by all the reasons, when we just need to step up and say, if I want this done, I can do it.
Yep.
I can do it. So the very first thing is to stop making excuses. That is huge. Number 2, you got to make good plans. Make good plans. Now, in mantras 13 and 21 in the book, you're going to learn way more about these. If you want to, you can listen to the podcast when those come out, or you can grab hold of the book. But there's some very detailed ways to make good plans. And we're not going to go into those in depth right now. But the bottom line is you need to have a plan. You can't aimlessly walk through a day, a week, a month, and then look back and go, oh, that didn't get done. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, in being overwhelmed, I've done that for the last about 6 weeks when it comes to living by the mantras.
We've all done it, Colleen.
Well, we've all done it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be the first to say I'm not preaching this at you like I got this down, because when it comes to actually helping this platform advance to where I want it to and teach the classes, I've used that whole not really time monitoring, making good plans so that all the time, because I'm busy right now with other things, closing out our real estate company, getting our house packed up. I can make a long list, but I can also put the time in there. So what's a great way to help ourselves on a daily basis with plans?
Well, I want to kind of back up everybody, because something that Colleen said is making good plans, right? So we don't make bad plans. We don't intentionally do that. We just
No, but by not planning, we're making bad plans.
by not planning or not thinking it through, we actually make bad plans.
Yeah.
So by Colleen saying making good plans, you're saying you want to avoid that failure of making a bad plan. And so how can we do that? Well, the first thing is to use a writing, what do you call this? Instrument, utensil, or writing utensil. You can actually write on your phone, and that's fine. You typically have it in your hand anyway, so that's okay to do that. But we're asking you to actually use some kind of writing instrument and something called paper, and write it down, because there was a 2007 study by Dr. Gail Matthews, that said that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you simply write it down on a piece of paper.
Well, I'm going to jump back, because Brett always tells everybody he uses. I mean, I've used this many times, not just Brian, but he just used it in talking with our daughter just got engaged. Hi, Julie, and to her fabulous fiance and soon to be our son-in-law, Nathan, if you are listening. Hey guys, but when we were having kind of a toast and encouraging them, he reminded them that things are created 3 times, because they were talking about planning their wedding.
Yeah.
And they start in our mind. We have ideas, but we have to write them down, and then they become action. And so that's really super important what you're saying about writing things down, because what I like to share is that when I'm on the game and I'm not in some overwhelmed state of mind, as I have been, so I only share that out loud and I repeat that, because we all go through this. I know, I'll have my bemoaning sessions with my best friend, business partner, and buddy here, Brian, and he'll look at me like, the answers to these things. You coach on these things, but everybody is human. When I'm in my best form, I either end my day, like before I go to bed, having a cup of tea, doing something, I'll jot down on a piece of paper everything I know I need to accomplish the next day, especially if it's in regards to something I need to work a little harder at or overcome. Like, here are the things that have to happen tomorrow or in this week. And then the first thing I do when I get up in the morning and switch from a cup of herbal tea to a strong cup of Joe, I can look at that and know where I'm starting. But if I have an evening where I didn't start or finish by writing those things down, I start my day the same way. Because just by physically writing it down, it allows my brain to organize my thoughts. And then I keep that somewhere that throughout the day, I review it and go, oh, shoot, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah, it could be a simple Post-it note, like,
like that's on the cover of my book, which is they're there because I am the Post-it queen. I stick notes everywhere.
You know what I'd like to hear, Colleen? I would like to hear from our listeners. Maybe they can send you a message at colleensouza.com or livingbythemantras.com.
Go look for me by the mantras. Don't go to colleensouza.com.
They all go to the same place. So they actually go to Colleen right there. That's perfectly fine. Send her a message of maybe something you've accomplished that you've written down.
Yeah.
That maybe you had in your head for a long time, but once you wrote it down, you actually accomplished that goal, and celebrate that success. If you want to post it on a comment below for others to see, that would be great. If you want to send her a private message, you can do that as well.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is we have to clue in, we have to write it down, because then we can do the last part of that, making good plans, and that's evaluate it. Did that work? Did that not work? Oh, I didn't get to that because I just couldn't wrap my brain around how to do that particular piece of it. Maybe I should try it another way. But that allows us to move forward. So we have stop making excuses.
Yep.
We have make good plans. And the third is to be disciplined, because you can write down all you want in the world, okay? You can stop making excuses, but you have to have some discipline to embed the activity that's going to be required to help you move forward. And we just finished a series, Mantra 6, okay, was all about focus. It was all about focus. Plan B is just a distraction. So you can go back and listen to that series, because we do dig in pretty deep into time management. But the bottom line is you have to budget your time, because I like to say, and I share it over and over again, time is that one commodity we cannot get back. We can lose money and then earn more money, okay? There's a lot of things we can do. We can lose weight, gain weight. We can, catch up on sleep if we've lost sleep. But what we can't get back is the time we've lost. It's elusive. It's gone once it's gone. So it's really important to be disciplined with it. And what is a way that you like to recommend that we can do that to be disciplined?
So time management is a daily activity. In fact, I want to kind of back it up a little bit, Colleen. How many seconds are in a minute?
There are 60 seconds. Don't make me do math. You know I suck at this. Hold on. If you're watching, you're going to watch me do math on a piece of paper.
So there's 60 seconds in a minute. How many minutes are in an hour?
There's 60 minutes in an hour.
There's 60 minutes in an hour. How many hours are in a day?
There's 24 hours in a day. And that's just a lot of math, because that's like 3,000. Am I wrong? Is that 3,600 seconds and a minute? And then you're not going to make me do it. Okay.
No. I want to ask you, how many seconds are in a minute? How many minutes in an hour? How many hours in a day? And then the reason why you do that activity, do seconds matter? That's the question. Do seconds matter? Well, if you're in TV broadcasting, it absolutely matters, because a 30-second commercial was worth, what, $10 million or something like that?
On this channel, no. But yeah, you get the idea.
So you get the idea that seconds matter. And when we say, oh, you know what, I'll get to it, you have just wasted those seconds. You wasted those minutes. You wasted those hours. You wasted those days. So it's a daily activity. So if you can do just one thing to improve being disciplined at the beginning of your day, when you wake up, you're having your cup of coffee, before you touch your phone, get a piece of paper and simply write down
I was sharing before,
a couple of ideas about what you want to accomplish during that day. And if you want to get bonus points for yourself, what do you want to accomplish this week? If you finish everything during the day, then you can move on to this week. But it's a daily activity.
And I think it's super important when we're talking about overcoming obstacles. Maybe it's not what you want to accomplish overall, but maybe you are struggling with a particular thing, a particular area, a particular achievement, a particular problem. Yeah. Then you need to dedicate more time to that. Or I'm going to go with what Brian said. My days are all better, not just when I either jot those things down at night or in the morning, but that when I start my morning, I start it by kind of meditating. It can be prayer for you. It can be just find a quiet space. We live in balmy California, so even on the coldest days with a good sweater where we live, you can sit on the back patio and just get a breath of fresh air and stop and think about, where are you? Who are you? What do you hope to accomplish? How would you like your day to go? And empower yourself to overcome whatever obstacle lies ahead. My other piece to that is it's about consistency. So whether or not you choose to focus on whatever it is you're hoping to do, if it's exercise, and I'm going to throw that in there as an example. I'm a morning person. I am always better if I find a way to put that fitness piece. I am really focused on it right now. And I get up in the morning, and after I have some time and some coffee and I'm awake, I squeeze the exercise portion in the morning.
Rockstar water aerobics.
Yeah, that's my gig. But what I discover is that if I say, okay, well, I don't have time this morning, like this morning, I have to be honest, I didn't do it. I had to run my mom to get her shoulder x-rayed and to do blood work and take care of my mom. So I had to go do all of that this morning. So I have to, after we finish our podcast, get out there and do what I didn't do this morning. And it's harder for me later in the day because I have budgeted that time. I have become disciplined. That is a part of my morning routine. And if I'm not careful, I'll miss it altogether today, because why? It's out of my routine. So whether it's whatever it is for you, make it consistent, same time each day or same day each week. Like every Saturday morning, you're going to work on that new project so that you can accomplish whatever it is. Is it to build a garden? Is it to write a book? Is it to, I don't know, you fill in the blanks. every Saturday morning, you're going to work on that. That repetitive discipline will make a difference.
And I do want to add this, is that as you wrap up your day and you're getting ready for bed, you're brushing your teeth and all those good things, keep a notepad.
You have to brush your teeth?
Keep a notepad next to your bed. It's always helpful to do that. Next to your bed, because one of the things that you may not do enough of is you need to recognize the accomplishments that you did complete. So often we focus on negative things that we didn't complete. Oh, I didn't get to this, I didn't get that, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
If you did one thing, that's one thing you did today that is a success. Honor that and recognize that and write it down.
Well, the beauty of writing it down for me is that I can cross it off.
Yep.
I love crossing things off because I'm like, did that. And so that's another, either you're crossing it off or writing it down. That's really huge. So we have stop making excuses, make good plans, be disciplined. The next one, number 4, is super important, and there's just not enough of it right now in our world, and that is learning to laugh.
Very, very important.
Having a sense of humor. We take ourselves far too seriously.
Yep.
And we, like Brian, it kind of ties in with what he was saying there. When we focus on the negative, or we look at the end of the day and what we haven't accomplished, or we get in a stressful situation and we allow the stress to control us. And once again, I am speaking from super raw personal experience because it's been a rough month. It's been a rough month in transition for us as our whole life is kind of not upside down in a negative way. It's by choice, but it's kind of turning upside down and it's transitioning. And as we've been doing that, if I don't stop
and laugh along the way
and laugh a little, I get way too serious because laughter is super important. It changes our energy. It changes our endorphins. It changes our perspective.
Yeah.
And what seems like all too overwhelming and too consuming can change. And I think Brian has more specific statistics on laughter.
Yeah, so one of the biggest studies is a book that came out in 2025. It's called Discover the Power of Laughter, written by a couple of sisters. And they talk about how the main chemicals released when you laugh are endorphins and dopamine and serotonin, and they boost your mood, they reduce stress, and make you feel better overall. And they actually give you a way to, they give you a formula that you can use if you're not sure how to make yourself laugh. They have a smile, breathe, play technique. And so how that works is, I'll give you a summary of their findings here, what they teach. I actually recommend you do read their book for the full thing, but this is in a nutshell. So number 1, you smile. Now have you do this, Colleen, okay? Smile.
If you're not watching, I'm smiling right now.
Force a big, genuine smile with your teeth showing for 10 seconds.
So for those of you that are listening, I'm smiling really big.
She's doing it. Keep doing it. 9, 8, 7, 6.
You should have already started. I'm there.
3, 2, 1. Then you breathe. You take 3 to 5 slow, deep breaths. They're belly breaths, by the way, while keeping that smile. Keep that smile.
From the button. Belly button.
And then number 3 is you play. You start making silly laughing sounds like ha 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 ha. La, 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 la.
It's already going to make me laugh.
It feels strange at first, zippity-doo-dah, but if you do it for 30 to 60 seconds in a mirror, I guarantee you, your mood will change, you will laugh, that serotonin and dopamine will be released, and you will have that ability to learn to laugh.
Okay. I'm going to share a story of Brian, but I'm going to ask you to remind us, what's the name of that book again?
The name of that book again that was written in 2025 is Discover the Power of Laughter.
Discover the Power of Laughter. Now, just because I want you to go out and look for it, if that's an area that if you know that you struggle with kind of spiraling down that rabbit hole of negativity and you need to find a way, this is such a good book. And I'm going to share the laughter piece of this as we were reading their formula about cutting stress in the moment and doing that, forcing yourself to smile, taking the deep breaths, making the goofy sounds. One thing, and our kids can chime in on this, Brian is gifted at is being a goofball. And
I love to laugh at myself.
Yeah, he does love to laugh at himself. Yeah. I will forever, and I don't know if she's listening, Emery, if you're out there, one of Juliana, our middle daughter's best friends growing up through the junior high years, it was always at our house, would sit at our dinner table, and she said, I don't come for the food, I come to watch Brian laugh, and watch Brian laugh at himself. And he is gifted at that, but sometimes she'll
They've been wanting me to do a TikTok channel on that.
Yeah, because
I don't know if I'll do it.
Because he's in that. But here's the deal. when I first met him, when I was first dating him, and then when I first married him, if he got really stressed out, he would go into the bathroom and start having a conversation, really goofy conversation in the mirror with himself. Yep. So I laughed when I read this because I'm like, this is you. This is what you've always done. You've always found a way to cut through the stress with laughter. So it's just super important because it changes our energy. And by changing our energy, 100%. By changing our energy, we change our destiny. It's just so very true. When you're working with mindsets, when I coach people in mindsets, that's the biggest part of it. Is that you have to change your energy so that you can change your outcome. And that's huge. If you have
a great book on laughter, go ahead and put it in the comments below, or send a message to Colleen about that, because you know what? It's okay to laugh.
It's okay to laugh. Yeah. Positivity is everything. Yep. So we have to stop making excuses, make good plans, be disciplined. We have to learn to laugh. And finally, number 5 are the things that I'm going to recommend that will help you overcome your obstacles and live in that possibility, is choosing your friends wisely. And you're going to see this theme throughout. I mean, it weaves itself throughout my book. It weaves itself throughout my coaching. And that is who you surround. You become like who you surround yourself with.
100%.
Okay. Yep. And so, and that doesn't mean you have to cut off everybody in your life who isn't positive or who isn't encouraging to you or doesn't have your vision. But you definitely need to think about, especially when you're really trying to push through something challenging, who do you have at your side? Who is your cheerleader? Who is your encourager?
Who do you lock arms with?
Your mentor, your whatever they are, and that you can, and we talked a little bit about this in the last episode, that you can have challenge you, that you can have encourage you, because if you, and maybe, and I'm not saying that this isn't going to happen in your life, sometimes you have to step back from people who cannot help you overcome obstacles. If they're the ones, if you discover there's a person in your world that is constantly the red flag, throwing up the obstacles,
or the anchor that holds you back,
telling you can't do it, telling you why you shouldn't do it, it might be a time to take a break. Not that you can't have a love and appreciation for that person, but you don't need to surround yourself with the thinking that isn't going to allow you to grow and overcome and live in your get.
Yep.
So those are the 5 big things. The strategies to overcome them. I'm going to review them one more time. Stop making your excuses. Come up with take the personal responsibility. Write things down. Make a plan. Okay. Be disciplined with your time. Laugh and find joy in the journey. And number 5, choose your friends wisely. Surround yourself with a community or mentors or friends that will encourage you. Mm-hmm. If you are enjoying our podcast, we're grateful. We're glad you're listening.
Thank you so much.
If you just found us today, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Okay? You're part of the family.
Please click back and see. Stay tuned and watch what comes up. Like us, subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube. Download us if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, or the gazillion other places where you can find podcasts. We just enjoy that you're visiting us, that you're listening to our words. We have my book, livingbythemantras.com. You can go there. You can find all the information, learn a little bit more about us.
We'd love to hear from you.
Clue in to what we're doing. Listen to some of the different things going on. We're glad you joined us today.
Until next time.
What's your mantra?
See you
later.
Bye.